tumbling, the walls are crumbling down, and there's another riot in my heart. They started fires, I watch the flames go higher, and there's another riot in my heart. And there's panic on the streets as everybody rushes for the doors. And there's chaos at the docks as everybody pushes for the shore. Just like before, I don't know if it's gonna be alright. I don't know if I'll be okay. I don't know if it's gonna be alright. I don't know if I'll be okay. There's a riot in my heart. The towers crumble, the mountains tumble down, and there's another riot in my heart. There's been explosions out on the ocean, and there's another riot in my heart. And there's panic on the streets as everybody rushes for the doors. And there's chaos at the docks as everybody pushes for the shore. Just like before, I don't know if it's gonna be alright. I don't know if I'll be okay. I don't know if it's gonna be alright. I don't know if I'll be okay. There's a riot in my heart. 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 Hell yeah! We got the beat, we got the rhythm, got the music lover. We got our fingers round the spine. We make the beat, we pound the rhythm, scream the lyrics at each other. Stomping feet, we stomp in time. And the music that we make is made of blood and bone, of shouts and screams and moans. And the music that we make is bred of loss and love, and the stars that shine above. It's primal pumping, perfect power, pushing past pleasure and pain. We got the thrum, we got the hum, we drum the rhythm, brother. We own the measure and the time. We scream the words that barely heard above the rushing rhythm. We force the notes out in a line. And the music that we make is made of skin and teeth, and the secrets that we keep. And the music that we make fills our hearts and lungs, and the clouds that hang above. It's booming, blasting, big bombastic, breaking boundaries, breaking hearts in twain. The heavier the heart, the more it breaks. Hearts in twain. The heaviest of hearts hold the most pain. Hearts in twain. But the music takes the hurt, keeps it away. The music takes the hurt away. We got the beat, we got the rhythm, got the music lover. We got our fingers round the spine. We make the beat, we pound the rhythm, scream the lyrics at each other. Stomping feet, we stomp in time. And the music that we make is made of blood and bone, of shouts and screams and moans. And the music that we make is bred of loss and love, and the stars that shine above. It's booming, blasting, big bombastic, breaking boundaries, breaking hearts in twain. The heavier the heart, the more it breaks. Hearts in twain. The heaviest of hearts hold the most pain. Hearts in twain. But the music takes the hurt, keeps it away. The music takes the hurt away. Fuck shit up, we're gonna tear it down, we're gonna tear it up, we're gonna blow it out, we're gonna blow it up, we're gonna knock it down, we're gonna knock it in, we're gonna knock it out, we're gonna take it on, we're gonna take it down, we're gonna smash it up, we're gonna crash it down, we're gonna drive it fast, we're gonna play it loud, we're gonna fuck it up, we're gonna do it now, we're gonna push it back, then we'll push it out, we're gonna turn it on, we're gonna turn it out. We're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, and everybody's gonna be alive. We're gonna light it up and set the world on fire, but everybody's gonna be alright. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. Come on, come on, come on, throw a little dynamite. It's gonna be alright. Let's watch a fucker burn. 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 Riot hard, we're gonna riot long, we're gonna get into, we're gonna play our songs, we're gonna thrash around, we're gonna trash it all, we're gonna throw it down, we're gonna power on, we're gonna soldier through, we're gonna throw it off, we're gonna burn it up, we're gonna burn it down, we're gonna get outside, we're gonna get around, we're gonna build it up, then we'll break it down, we're gonna shatter glass, we're gonna shatter sound, we're gonna rage and rage, we're gonna scream and shout, we're gonna light it up.
Look at that. Now that's a pro fade, man. That's the second to last pro fade you'll ever hear on this channel. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm still gonna do one show a month on this channel, but yeah, my intention, eventually I will phase it out completely. Because my intention is to create my own streaming service, and start it. I'm going to start it small. Taking care of what I feel a live stream, a live music stream that's playing original music, what that deserves, and then what that needs and what that requires. I want to create something that approximates like an actual live show. But I also want to take advantage of the fact that it's on the internet. And so you can do all sorts of cool things on the internet you can't do at a live show. So I want to see if I can't create something that's a unique experience that's not just the Twitch thing, you know, and not just sort of like, so it feels more like an actual rock show, you know, like the intention is not to like, there will be a point where you can hang out with me and I'll hang out with you guys. But when the music's actually going, it's going to be like a rock show, you know, But yeah, man. So okay, so this is I have tickets to a live thing in a couple hours. Oh yeah, no, okay, awesome. Well, yeah, no, and that's great. 9 to 12, because it's not gonna. Hey, Eric, how you doing, brother? It's not gonna take a long time. I'm gonna be running through. I'm just gonna be doing Juggernaut. So I've got a brand new record coming out tomorrow. It's the very first all rock record I have done since the very first Get Set Go record. And the very first Get Set Go record was already, even that wasn't a complete rock record, because we had Wait was a hidden track right after the very, so there were 14 songs on it, but it was technically 13 songs, and that was intentional. We wanted it to be an unlucky number. We wanted to start right out with an unlucky number, and that's what we did. So, but then we put a hidden track on there that was track number 14, which was Wait, and it was an unlisted track. And then, so this is the very first all rock record I've made since the first one that came out. It was recorded in 2002 and it came out in 2003. So it has been 20 years since I've done this. So what I was thinking I would do is I would play. So here, let me pull up the album. I'm gonna play the album in its entirety in sequence. Yes, yeah. So it's gonna be mostly blackjack and hookers. Yeah, that's. It's gonna be whiskey delivery and cocaine delivery. I'm trying to set up a deal with Mexican cartels. We will be delivering. It's probably be about an hour and change. It'll probably be about an hour and change, Amanita, because I'm playing all 11 songs. The running length of them is about 43 minutes, but I'm going to be playing the songs, talking about them. So you might be able to catch the last few songs. What was I going to hear? So let me pull this up. Boom boom. Hold on, here we go. Hold on. What's going on? Okay, yeah, that's okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. All right, good. So okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm gonna so the initial idea behind, so for me, when I after we recorded our very first record, I was burnt out. Like, so by that point in time, I'd been making music kind of in earnest since I'd really been kind of dabbling with the guitar for almost a full decade. So our first record came out in 2002. Or it was recorded in 2002. We got a record deal in 2002. And I really started playing the guitar in earnest in 1996. So it was about 6 years of me playing full tilt. And in that time, all we did was we just played music. We just played, punk rock music, effectively, like noisy punk, post-punk, all like distorted guitars and lots of squealing and lots of extra loud, And so by the time So You've Ruined Your Life came out in 2003, I was kind of already a little bit over that sound. I was kind of over the punk rock sound. It was everywhere, and it was ubiquitous, and it was, and I just wanted something different, and so that became Ordinary World. And then when Ordinary World came out and Ordinary World was a success, I was like, okay, I like that, but I felt like the arrangements behind Ordinary World were a little bit too much. Like, they were too intimate. They were too personal. I like that because Ordinary World, the album, was such a confessional record. I wanted the next record to be something that was a little bit different. So we went with like sort of a classic rock and roll setup. So we used electric guitars, but we didn't use distortion. And we used like kind of classic, like 1960s approaches to our production. Like in terms of like the arrangements and in terms of the way that we made everything sound. And then, and every subsequent record, each album, we're like, okay, how do we want to tackle the sound of this record? But almost uniformly, the one thing I didn't want was heavy distorted guitars, because I was just burnt out on that sound, and they eat up so much bandwidth, and they make it so difficult. They make it so difficult to actually like add other elements, like the thing is that you can really you can't add mid-range stuff. Like, you can't have a viola and hardcore electric guitars and have them both sound nice and clean and pristine. That's not 100% so, but the thing is like you kind of have to. So they just eat up a lot of bandwidths, electric guitars. So it took me 20 years before I was like, fuck man, I really miss playing a full rock record, or making a full rock record. So I had the idea for this back in 2022, and I really hold on, we've got multiple dogs up here. Good boy, bud. And yeah, maybe I should put what video 9 to 12? What video are you talking about? Anyway, so I this is the first time in 20 years that I put out just a full tilt rock record, and it's super fun. There are so many homages in this record, and they didn't start off intentional. It didn't. I mean, some of it did in terms of the composition, but as I was putting it together, as I was tinkering with it, I was like, oh shit, this calls for like a B-52 vocal part, or this one calls for a Beach Boys kind of like ooh, you know. This isn't really. I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, and I might be able to do that 9/12. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I might because this episode is saved. Maybe I will put that up, and then I'm gonna give all my Patreon people the actual record. I was gonna do that today. I just haven't had any time. I've been crazy getting all my ducks in a row for the actual release. And Eric Altman says, and Clapton's Cocaine, which is the sleepiest song about coke I've ever. Yeah, yeah. Although. It is funny if you abuse cocaine, it stops being an accelerant. You know, cocaine ends up becoming just something that you do that feels good, that you don't really, you know, like it feels good. You like to do it. It makes you a little bit, and like unless you do it in excess, like I think it's like, but yeah, there were times when I like when I was a heavy cocaine user where I would like just do a bump or do a rail, do like a small rail, and I'd fall asleep. Like what the fuck. All right, so here we go. So the opening song for this record is called Wild Animals. And so I wrote this, it's really funny. I wrote this first riff I came up with. I was trying to break the way I thought about songwriting. I was trying to break the way I was thinking about, composition, you know, and so I was just trying to I'd been trying to write very angular kind of sounding stuff, like Devo, you know, so I was tinkering with this. So I came up with this is just a riff, and I was just sitting there. And so I was just kind of bopping along to it. I was sitting up here, I was writing, and I was just like, and I recorded that, and then I didn't think about it again. I just walked away from it, and in a few days, so I didn't turn it into a song that day. I wrote another song, and then I went back. So I was going through a bunch of recordings that I've been working on, and I listened to that, and it was so outside of what my ears normally heard, but it was still super catchy. And I was like, okay, let me turn this into a song. So this is called Wild Animals. Let me bring up here, let me bring up this guy real quick. That's not what I want. I totally forgot to set this up. I'm a jerk. I'm a slacker. Okay, songs, set lists. Here we go. Let me just do this real quick. And then, all right. I'm just gonna put all the songs in here real quick so I can just kind of power through them. Sound and off their heads. And then what's after that? Ladies and gentlemen. And I'll kind of walk you through a bunch. I'll walk you through a bunch of the haze. I'll walk you through a bunch of the like a bunch of the hidden little homages that are put into each of these songs. Or sometimes it wasn't even really an homage. It was just a vibe. Like I was like, oh, I kind of like the vibe of this band or this song or this album. Let me see if I can write something that feels like it's in the same vein that but is, you know, of course, is a Get Set Go song, which is really which is a really fun thing. It took me a long time to realize that. I thought I was when I first started writing songs, like when I wrote 13, I thought I was ripping off the Pixies. I literally thought I was ripping off the Pixies. So I felt really awkward about playing it for people that I knew were Pixies fans, because I was afraid they'd walk up and be like, Mike, you're ripping off the Pixies. But it never happened, you know, and because it turns out that it's not ripping off the Pixies at all. You know, like there is a little lyrical connection, but it's not, you know, or not, or like the way that the chorus lyrics, some of the chorus lyrics sound, there is a little connection in that regard, but no, come on. But that's about it. No, come on. There we go. Okay, good. All right. Like the band, okay, wait. So, like the band could open for you, and the audience would be like, "Yeah, this makes sense." What do you okay? What are you talking about? Now I've lost the narrative thread, Eric. What are you talking about? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this song. We'll talk about it just a little bit, and then I'll play the way the track. And so this track actually just changed just today. So I have made versions of this album available to various organizations and friends and groups of friends. And like I did a Kickstarter where people got an early version of the record. I have some other groups of friends that I've given as, you know, like I've got my record label. It's a co-op record label. There's about 10 people that are currently on it, and we're all putting out new releases and we're all supporting each other. I gave a version of that to some of them, you know, but the album is still not done until midnight tonight. I still might tinker with the record leading all the way up into it, but this is Wild Animals as it sounds when I wrote it. Stone Age, baby, you can drive me crazy. You can light a fire and put my heart right into it. Stone Age lover, I don't want another. I just want to touch you. Come and let me touch you, baby. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. Oh, Stone Age goddess, guess you really got us. Guess we're gonna do it. Guess we're gonna love on through. Stone Age darling, can you hear me calling? I've been a hollering. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. Oh, wild animals, bumping, pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals, touching, taming, titillating, taking time to love on you. Wild animals, baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals, doing, driving, danger, diving, darling, we don't done it all. Stone Age mama, can I be your papa? Can I touch you? Can I love you? Everything. Stone Age lady, you might drive me crazy, but I'm gonna love you everything. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. So do 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 do. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. Oh, wild animals, bumping, pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals, touching, taming, titillating, taking time to love on you. Wild animals, baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals, doing, driving, danger, diving, darling, we done done it all. I will love you. I will love you, baby. I will love you for all time. I will love you. I will love you, baby. I will love you for all time. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. Oh, wild animals, bumping, pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals, bumping, breaking, breaking, taking, taking. Wild animals, baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals, doing, driving, danger, diving, darling, we done done it all. Yeah, so that's okay. So that was the way the song was originally written. Hey, Scott, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. And And hey, Retro Roach, a 2-bit shave and a haircut, 2 bits. How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. So yeah, so that song, you know, so it really did. It just, the way it evolved was just, it started. So again, it's just started with this little. Hey, desperate for me. So just me playing that, it was just a fun thing that slowly but surely over time just evolved and eventually became something. And then I was like, oh, I'll make it, you know, I wanted, if I'm going to make a full rock record, I want there to be lots of sexy songs. I want there to be lots of, like, you know, like, let's get it on kind of stuff, because it's just fun. It's just fun to dance to, and it's fun to sing to, and it's fun. Like, if I'm going to make a full rock record, I want to mostly be a party record. And so there's only one song on this record that is really sort of in the traditional get set go sort of downer bailiwick. You know, everything else is a little bit ebullient. All of it has has lyrics that are a little bit left of field, as is sort of de rigueur for Get Set Go. But so that song, so Wild Animals, you know, it's crazy because for me, the more I worked on it, the more it felt kind of like a Kinksy thing, you know, like there's like the Kinks did a lot of that kind of stuff, you know, where they had these kind of like jagged, kind of like angular little riffs that they just repeated and then added like straight drums behind, and it sounded really cool. So I actually tinkered with some, anyway, so well, you'll see. So this is the song called, so this is the way that it sounded for the record. This is the newest, this is the version that right now is the final version. I still might change it up all the way up until midnight tonight. I've got until midnight. That's one of the great things about putting things on Bandcamp, as I can just constantly revise and keep pushing. Like, so I keep listening to it and going, all right, let me see, does this sound perfect? So, but here we go. This is the way it sounds right now on Bandcamp. It's gonna be made available tomorrow. Juggernaut. The only place on the planet Earth that's going to be available is on Bandcamp. It's $7. So what, like a price of coffee? Like if you bought 2 coffees. Not even the big coffees, 2 grande size coffees at Starbucks, just drips, right? Just drips. That's going to cost you about $5 and change. So for another dollar and something, you could get this album that you could own forever and always. So here you go. This is Wild Animals.
You can light a fire and put my heart right into it. Stone Age lover, I don't want another. I just want to touch you. Come on, let me love you, baby. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers. Stone Age goddess, guess it's really got us. Guess we're gonna do it. Guess we're gonna love all through it. Stone Age darling, can you hear me calling? I've been a hollering. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers of wild animals. Pumping, pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals. Touching, taming, titillating, taking time to love on you. Wild animals. Baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals. Doing, driving, danger, diving, dining, we done it all. Can I be a papa? Can I touch you? Can I love you? Everything. Stone Age lady, yes, you drive me crazy, but I'm gonna love you everything. Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers of do 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 Let's get prehistoric lover. Let's get wild beneath the covers of wild animals. Pumping, pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals. Touching, taming, titillating, taking time to love on you. Wild animals. Baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals. Doing, driving, danger, diving, dining, we done it all. I will love you. I will love you, baby. I will love you for all time. pushing, paying, playing, breaking every single rule. Wild animals, touching, jamming, titillating, taking time to love on you. Wild animals, baking, breaking, roasting, baking, baby, we can take it all. Wild animals, doing, driving, danger, diving, diving, we done it all.
Hey Nick, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. So yeah, so that's the very first song, the very first track, and you know, and so it's really crazy, man, because like using electric guitars, I'm certain you can hear it, like they eat up so much bandwidth, you know. And thank you, Desperate for Me. Yeah, I mean, you know, like this is so this is sort of a coming home for me, you know. I spent the first, and so every single note on this album, I am responsible for. Now, I didn't play the drums. I actually use, there's they're called tune tracks, and they've got Superior Drummer and Easy Drummer. They've got a bunch of different drumming, so basically the way it works is they have little figures, like they have it's like they've got 4 measures of a drum thing, and then they've got fills, and they've got all this stuff. Now what I usually do is I will take I'll take a part of a drum section and I will turn it into my or what I've been doing lately, like I'm remaking the Anal Worm album, and I really do love the drums that I came up with back in the day, which were I literally just put every beat in place. I put in the kick drum. Yeah, no, it's Retro Roadshow. As you get a feel for it, like it's so crazy. They've got all their stuff laid out. Like this is the verse, and this is the pre-chorus, and this is the chorus. I give no fucks about that. But what I'll do is I'll sit and I'll listen to it, be like, oh yeah, doom, but I hear this, and then I'll plug it in. I'll plug that beat into the because they've got like a tap. You can tap your own beat in, so you can do the kick drum, lay in the snare, and then they'll give you all of the matches, and they'll give you percentage matches, you know. And so I'll be like, oh, this one's great, you know. And then often what I'll do is I'll just find a little portion of it, and I'll use that as the main, like this is my main verse section. And then the great thing is and they have a whole slew of fills. And one thing I love is because they've got a whole bunch of like I love the classic Motown style of drumming, like these really simple these really simple fills. It just feels so fucking good. You'll hear a lot of them in this record because I love Easy Drummer, I love Superior Drummer, all of that, all the tune track stuff, because you know there's nothing like playing with a good drummer. There's nothing like having a good drummer that here's a song and is able to come up with his own. But what I was doing before I was working with this stuff, the thing is, it's like, you know, getting together and practicing with a band is a difficult proposition if you don't have dedicated members, right? And the band is only as dedicated as the least dedicated member, right? So you can only do the things that you want to do so far as the least dedicated of you is willing to do it, right? So if you want to go tour for 6 months, yeah, everybody has to be on board with touring for 6 months, you know? And so for me, moving to Austin, walking away from all of my musician friends in Los Angeles, I was like, okay, I can't wait on. And originally, when I came to LA, I was like, I'll send you guys I had my bandmates back in Los Angeles, and I was like, I will send you guys the music. I'll send it to you. You write some parts. I will fly out for 2 months. We'll spend 1 month we'll just rent a rehearsal studio every single day for a full month, and then we'll just go into the studio for a full month afterwards, and that will be our workflow, you know. But I sent them the music. And they just didn't write parts, you know. And so 2 months, so I sent them the music saying like, hey, I'm planning on flying out. Like, I sent it to him in like April, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna plan on flying out in July. And by the middle of June, I hadn't heard back from anybody. I'm like, okay, I totally get it. You guys are doing your own thing, and that's awesome. I love you all, like you know. And I still do feel that my Get Set Go bandmates, I love them with all my heart. But I was like, I can't sit around. Like, this is what I do for a living. I can't sit around and wait for you guys to like kind of like figure out what we're gonna do. So I'm like, I'm gonna get up and running. But this was the very first time. So this is in 2015. This is the very first time that I was responsible for everything. So what I did for Here Be Dragons, which is the first album I put out was The Pleasure of Being Sad, which had no drums. It had just shaker and tambourine and acoustic guitars and like all the stuff that I could do by myself. Yeah, my band is struggling with scheduling right now. We're settling on 2-week tours, I think. Seems like people like to say they're down. Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly right. And the thing is like, and so for me, unless you've got bandmates that are all of you on the same page about what you want to do and where you want to take the band, you're going to always be dragged down by the person that wants to do the least amount of work, right? That's the amount of work you're going to get done is the amount of work that the least of you wants to do. So for me, recognizing that, and also recognizing that the music I make and the sounds I make and the way I write songs and it's always been a hard thing for me to find bandmates that were and are dedicated to my music. And when I do find them, I hold on with both hands and go, let's keep but even so, I've never had I've never made enough money to be able to like pay everybody in a way that they should be paid, you know? And so often it was a labor of love, you know? And so I would get them rent support for when we toured, you know, I would pay for half the hotel rooms, like out of my own pocket. The thing is like our record label did kick us down some cash, and often they would pay rent support. So they would give the bands, so we go out for 6 weeks, they give each of the band members like $1,500 for rent, except for me, you know? That was awesome, you know, and then I would pick up half the hotel room. So they'd all decide to stay in a hotel room. So we'd just get a big hotel room, 2 beds. I'd stay in the van with all the gear. There'd be two queen size beds. The other 4 members, they'd stay in the hotel room, and they would, and then they'd split. I'd pay for half the hotel room, and they'd split the other half. So it wasn't, you know, so I couldn't afford a per diem, you know, but because I've been doing this for a while and I have relationships, like we often got free food, and we had friends who would set us up, you know, and then if we did well, so all the money that came in, it was often just used to like keep us on the road, you know, but. So, you know, so I've definitely done things on the leanest margins ever, you know, and that's a tough road to hoe if you want professional musicians that are good at what they do, you know, because they deserve to get paid, and they rightly do, you know. And so for me, it was just a difficult thing, you know. And so when I got to Austin, I was like, okay, am I gonna go find these people again? And am I gonna find these guys again? And am I gonna find new people, and I'm gonna sell them on this thing? And then are we gonna try to like, you know? And again, Get Set Go's been around for a long time. You know, it's hard to get people really super excited about what I've got going on. I think that's about to change. I think that the square tire concern is going to change the way. I think that what I've been doing for the past 15 years was I was focusing on my band and on Get Set Go and Get Set Go alone. What allowed me to even get my first record deal was the fact that I was working very hard for a group of friends, for a group of bands. You know, when I started Mr. T's in 1998, it was 3 bands. It was just 3 friends, all sharing the same stage. Every Tuesday there was it was a dead night, and then a year later there were 60 people in the room, and there were like 10 bands. And then 6 months after that, there were 25 bands, and there was 110 people in the room. And then maybe another 6 months after that, there were 300 people in the room, and there were like 60. It started off with 60 core bands. It eventually ended up with 60 to 100 core bands and about 200 other bands in orbit around us. So it just became this huge, crazy. Rush toured for 10 years before they could afford separate. Yeah, see, I mean, and that's right, Dan. And that's, in fact, that's case in point, right? So Rush toured for 10 years, and they all just shared one hotel room. But the thing is, that's because all of them were like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. If we're going to do this for a full decade, like that's like, the thing is, that's a crazy amount of dedication. Like that's I think how you separate out the musicians that are lifetime musicians and the people that are not. Is that the lifetime musicians are like, yeah, whatever I need to do to take care of the music. What do I like? Okay, what do we do to keep playing? What do we do? Now again, you can just be a local band, and you can build up your local following. In fact, that's often that's the unfortunate thing. It used to be that was there was the Chicago sound, and there was the Detroit sound, and there was the Miami sound, you know, and there was the LA, and so you had groups of bands all from an area, and that sound developed because they were all influencing each other, and they didn't have to travel much, you know, so they were allowed to grow to the size where eventually when they got on the road, they already had they had been venturing out, so they had their like sweet spot area, and then they'd roam out and play, you know, other areas. They knew Rusty wasn't sure, but the rest of them knew. You're talking about anyway, but yeah, so it's just, yeah, it's a crazy thing, man, you know, and there's so many different ways to skin the musical cat, but unfortunately, the thing is that you know, prices have only gone up, things have only gotten more expensive. The ways that we can recoup the kind of revenue we can bring in has only diminished to a large degree, particularly as you're coming up, right? Particularly once you've established yourself and once you kind of have, these are the places that you know how to play. These are the places that like to have you play. You've got a good audience in these areas. The thing is that you can do okay. But the thing is that while you're getting there, it takes a while, Look at Kiss, it took them a while. Yeah. I mean, and it's, and yeah, it certainly is retro. Yeah, and it's crazy because the thing is that, like, there's so much white noise. It's so easy. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm walking away from Spotify and from Apple. I'm using Spotify and Apple Music and all the other services as a promotional tool and promotional tool anyway, or only. I'm not. I'm gonna start trying to like just compel my fans to start buying my records, because the thing is that, like, the money is just there's still money in music, right? There's still a lot of money. There's still billions and billions of dollars. It used to be like a 30 or 40 billion dollar industry, and now it's like an 6 billion or something like that. But even so, that money's not making it down to the artists, right? Because it's so easy for people to like just, hey, I wrote a song and then put it up on Spotify. Like, there's so much white noise. So if you were established before, it's kind of like, and I have a lot of friends. In fact, I've got some label mates that are where their primary focus is Spotify, and they're doing, and the great thing is that they're doing substantially better than they were before we started putting stuff out and before we all started supporting each other, and that's awesome. But the thing is that even so, there was a point in time where Get Set Go was, I think we were making about $400 a month, on Spotify, which is great money, right? But with the record label involved, the record label was keeping the lion's share of that $400, and then what was left, like, the thing is that, like, if I had bandmates, like we take $150 and we split that 4 ways, 5 ways, what? Like, it's just so the basic unit that we had to sell, which is our music, is so undermined, is so capsized, it's so underwater in terms of a financial, it's just the ante it's like the ante to sit at the table to play the game. It's not how you make it's like walking up to the craps table and be like, yeah, you can't win on the pass line. You have to keep a bet on the pass line. You're not allowed to win on the pass line. You have to win on, like, the hard ways and the comebacks and other weird, like, you have to come up with a whole separate business model. But the only way you can sit at the table is you have to have an album. Like, what? That's absurd. No, it should be the music, man. So that's why I'm changing it. So hey, Matricula, how you doing? The annual revenue of the global record wow, yeah. See, that's crazy. And thank you for that, Gosha Robot. Yeah. So it was about, I think, about 4 billion. Yeah. See, that's awesome. Great. That's Scott. That's awesome, man. And I think it really is incumbent upon the bands to express that there's a different way to do this, and that if you want to see small indie bands survive and thrive, you got to get involved, And so that's the whole idea behind the Square Tire concern. Is that we're just gonna be like, we're doing this with author friends of mine, so novelists and musicians and bands, and then eventually we're gonna try to introduce or include also, like, comic book artists and comic book writers and like independent filmmakers and a bunch of others that feel like they are adrift in a world that is increasingly devaluing what they do, No. So I think it was at around $4 billion at the height of like before Spotify got on board. I think it was around a $4 billion industry when MP3 stealing was at its most pronounced. 300. Yeah, that's I know, right? And that's exactly it. Like, that's the fucking crazy thing, right? People will go ahead and drop $40 on a game that they're not even certain they're gonna like, but to go spend $10 on a band that they love. Why would I do that? What? Come on, man. All right, so here we go. So this is the next song. So this is called She's Unstoppable. So this one, I wanted to write something that kind of felt, again, this is another one. There you go. That was, 4.86 billion. That's so crazy, man. So and that was, that's right. Spotify started showing up. But yeah, so it just, So we're doing a thing at shows now where we hang up QR codes that lead to a sizzle page with a free song download and a store right below where you can buy the rest of the track. Oh, that's great, man. That's smart. That's very smart, Retro Roadshow. That's awesome, man. Okay, so this song is called "She's Unstoppable." I wanted to write something that I wanted to write something that was sort of in the Jesse's Girl vein. I really like that that little Jesse's Girl riff. So this was so after some tinkering, this is what I came up with, and this is called "She's Unstoppable." She's been getting on, she's been getting off, she's been getting around. She's been coming up, she's been coming down, she's been coming around. Oh, she knows what she wants, and she ain't gonna stop till she climbs up on top. You can't get in her way unless you're willing to pay, unless you give what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 She's been on the prowl. Well, she's a hunter now, and she's been ready to pounce. She's a killer, son, and you better run. You better flee, you better get on out. She's more deadly than fire, and she knows how to burn. This is something you learn. And she ain't gonna stop till she's up on top, till she's got what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 And when she's got you, oh, you're gonna hurt. Yeah, she's gonna draw some blood. But in that hurting you might realize that there's never been another you could ever call your lover, whoa. And when she's got you, oh, you're gonna hurt. Yeah, she's gonna draw some blood. But in that bleeding, you'll be pleading to be needing love, loving that you're loving, cause there's just no other loving, whoa. She's been coming on, she's been coming out, she's been coming around. She's been tearing up, she's been tearing out, she's been tearing around. Oh, she knows what she wants, and she ain't gonna stop till she climbs up on top. You can't get in her way unless you're willing to pay, unless you give what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 She's unstoppable. God, see, that's so funny, Scott. That's so funny that so Scott was saying Backward Singer started a comic book company and a startup and made over $3 million on the first issue. So yeah, that's the thing, right? So musicians are able to develop a fan base, are able to, hey Subaru, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. So musicians are able to build up a fan base that they can then leverage to do other things, but the music itself is valueless. And so from my perspective, like I want to change that narrative. I want to see if we can't and I think that best and easiest way for me to do that is to create a community of amazing musicians that I love with all my heart, where we all of us just create a little, we just basically circle the wagons and we're like, hey, yeah, you guys out there in the world, you do your own thing. We're going to hang out and just love on each other's music. We're going to spend some time, and we're just going to be our own little island in a sea of chaos and a sea of competition and a sea of noise. We're just going to hang out with each other, and we're going to make amazing music. And we're going to invite, and my objective is to just invite people on a person by person basis. Hey man, we're doing something cool. Come check it out. And so the idea would be, we'll keep everything very, very affordable. We'll keep everything but we'll also make sure that there are no third party participants until we're ready to so the idea is that I know that of my friends, and I probably have a good 100 friends that are in 100 different acts that are still operating, even though most of my friends in LA no longer make music, but I still have 100, I'd say probably about 100 musician friends. So because I once did a little count of like who I could tap as it. So the Square Tire thing is starting off with, I've got a bunch of friends that are amazing that never really got their due, that never really got a significant like accolades for the music they make, but they made amazing music. And I was like, fuck it, if we can't make this happen, if I can't get these guys together, and if I can't sell these guys music, then I should not be trying to sell mine, because they make amazing music. And so we all got together. We kind of figured out a promotional strategy where we just stay on top of each other's stuff. We just stay involved. We stay, we actively promote each other's stuff. We respond to each other's stuff. We listen, we buy, we encourage our friends. And it's been working really, really well. So again, because like I was saying, like most of my friends would put out a brand new record and they'd get like 14 Spotify listeners and maybe 10 sales, and then that was it. Like that was all of it. And now a lot of our people have like 500 monthly Spotify listeners. They've gotten not scores and scores of sales, but they've gotten multiples of tens of sales. And this is in the first few months. So I do think that as we keep on this, and as we stick with it, and as we encourage people as we reach out to our friends that maybe have kind of walked away from the world of music and be like, hey, we as friends, we're all hanging out, just being friends together, doing what we do, and we're doing it, and we do it very, very well because we've been doing it for a long time. And most of us have been doing it in our bedrooms, in our home studios, and just making amazing music. And so, and we're also working on like the collaboration. I did a collaboration with Boone Graham. We got a brand new single out. It's a band called Made of Metal. I mean, the band's called Tiny Shiny Robots. The single's called Made of Metal. It's fucking amazing. It's kid friendly, and it's just the ultimate joyful, jubilant pop song. And we put that out, and we've got plans to do other stuff like that. So that's what I'm encouraging all of my friends to do. Hey, Bobcat, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. So I'm trying to encourage all my friends to do the same thing. Let's all start collaborating. In fact, one of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing like little 10-second, like we're going to do like if I wrote a little riff, then I would and I'd write that, and then I'd record 15 seconds of it, and I'd send it over to the next guy, or maybe I'll do a little Instagram video of me playing it, and then what we'll do is we'll sell it, and then I'll send it over to somebody else, and then they'll add something to it. I'm gonna send them just the stem. They'll add some music to it. They'll do a little Instagram thing, and then they'll send it off to somebody else, and eventually it goes from being like just a little guitar riff to there'll be drums, and there'll be bass, and there'll be lyrics, and there'll be background vocals and shaker and tambourine and the whole shebang, piano. And so the idea would just be, it'd be fun for us to get, like, the idea is that we'll just get comfortable kind of like adding, contributing to each other's music, because that way it'll become much easier for us to like do all sorts of collaborations and come up with a whole bunch of cool different ideas for things. And thank you, Zach. Yeah, it was super fun, man. It was a really, really fun time. All right, okay, so that's She's Unstoppable. So that's the So this is the song. It started off with me thinking I wanted to do something kind of like Jesse's Girl. As I started working on it, so again, it's a pretty straight ahead. It's a pretty and then there's a little opening riff. There's that also doubles as the chorus riff. There's a verse, there's a bridge, there's like a pre-chorus section, then there's the chorus, and then there's a bridge section. So there. It doesn't have doesn't have a lot of dynamics, doesn't have a lot of, so in order for me to give it some motion and to make it feel exciting from beginning to end, you have to that all comes down to arrangement, right? And so this is what I ended up coming up with. So this is She's Unstoppable.
She's been getting on, she's been getting off, she's been getting around. She's been coming up, she's been coming down, she's been coming around. Oh, she knows what she wants, and she ain't gonna stop till she climbs up on top. You can't get her new way unless you're willing to pay, unless you give what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 She's been on the prowl. Oh, she's a hunter now, and she's been ready to pounce. She's a killer, son, and you better run. You better flee, you better get on out. She's more deadly than fire, and she knows how to burn. This is something you learn. And she ain't gonna stop till she's up on top, till she's got what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 And when she's got you, oh, you're gonna hurt. Yeah, she's gonna draw some blood. But in that hurting, you might realize that there's never been another you could ever call your lover. Whoa. And when she's got you, oh, you're gonna hurt. Yeah, she's gonna draw some blood. But in the bleeding, you'll be bleeding to be needing the loving that she's loving, 'cause there's just no other lover. Whoa. She's been coming on, she's been coming out, she's been coming around. She's been tearing up, she's been tearing out, she's been tearing around. Oh, she knows what she wants, and she ain't gonna stop till she climbs up on top. You can't get in the way unless you're willing to pay, unless you give what you got. I'm telling you, man, this girl, she can't be stopped. 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 She's unstoppable.
Yeah. So it just turned out. Hold on. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, and thank you. So it's fun, man. So it's really fun to like. So I'm sitting there. So it's really fun to listen to the song and be like, okay. First, I don't mind because it's a rock record, because it's just drums and bass and electric guitars and it's supposed to be full tilt rock and roll. You know, I don't mind just letting them drive the song for the first section. But then you know, like. So for me, my buddy Schmed, he was like, you know, the great thing about the tambourine is it always makes it a party. Like you just throw in a tambourine and you're like, yay! It's like it just elevates everything. So I always make sure to include the tambourine. I sometimes include a shaker. I didn't use a shaker at all on this record because there's not really room for it. It's a full tilt rock record, but there's a fuck ton of tambourine. And in fact, I use the tambourine to maintain. Sometimes I will dial back the energy, but I'll just keep the tambourine doing like 16th notes. You know, like and what that does is it allows you to kind of dial things back and keep it and make it feel like a little bit groovier, but at the same time there's still the urgency that kind of gets so when it kicks back in, you know, like you don't feel, you haven't lost too much momentum, you know. And the background vocals, and so they're the woo. That it was fun. Like so that was like obviously a Beach Boys ripoff, but then that was a Supergrass ripoff. Like the Supergrass, their first record had like they have a bunch of that kind of like he's like and so I was like I will do a Supergrass and a Beach Boys thing. Fuck it, I can do that. So that's She's Unstoppable, and that was yeah, and there's a lot of like Beach Boys style background vocals on this. Like I like fucking with the idea behind a song. Like if I establish like this is the way the song sounds. If it sounds punky, then I like to do something that will tweak that and make it sound different. You know, I'll try to add information. Like maybe I'll add like Bizarro World, like I added a weird little like I had this weird little guitar part. It was like a little like Devo-ish kind of like, it was like a kind of a very angular ding 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 guitar part. I try to make sure that the songs I like my songs sounding like the music that I love, you know, like sounding like the music that a part of me is always trying to recreate because I love it so much. But at the same time, I try to and the thing is that, and there is, and it certainly does it certainly does have a fun surf punky. It does add a surf punky kind of vibe because, you know, it's Beach Boys sound. But so this one. So in all of these songs, every single song on this album, they were all written over a 3.5 month period. It was in 2021. I basically wrote about 110 or 120 songs over that period. And I was playing them. I was playing a bunch of them on Twitch, and it was really crazy because I do have a handful of songs that and I love Devo and I love Oingo Boingo. I don't know the Naughty Sweeties, but I do Oingo Boingo was one of the big was one of my big, like, I was 12 or 13 when I was really into them, and they were a huge band for me. But So I'm like, if I'm gonna do a full rock record, I want to write a song. I want to write a song that can demonstrate that I can do full rock stuff. Because I used to, back in the day, we had one with the numbers. Heed me, brothers and sisters, this is a call to arms. Hoist the flag, buckle up, sharpen your tongues, tune your guitars, you know. And so, like, you know, it was just like this driving kind of like full rock thing, and it was like, and there was these like, like, so I hadn't written a song like that in a long time. So I wanted to write something. So I was like, let me think about AC/DC. Let me try to, like, I was like, what makes, and for me, AC/DC, a big part of it is just these fucking killer riffs, you know, like, you know, and so, and I was like, okay, so let me see if I can do something. Naughty Sweeties played at Madame Wong's in the early 80s. I do not know Naughty Sweeties. I will have to check them out, Shubru. So I wanted to write, it took me a few passes to write something that felt like, again, like there was in the spirit. Again, I can't write AC/DC songs. I can't, you know, but I can write something that I feel is in the spirit of AC/DC. And so this is a song called The Sound. And this one, sometimes I struggle with playing because I haven't played this song much, but that'll be changing. That'll be changing. I'll explain why. Baby, oh, we're lazy, yeah, we're feeling fucking crazy. Gonna buy ourselves a gun, gonna stick it in the mouth, we're gonna suck the barrel dry, gonna suck the death out. We don't need no fucking bullets to knock ourselves around. We got the sound, we got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. Darling, we've been falling, we've been fucking up ourselves like we fuck nobody else. We've been faking, breaking, naked, we've been taking, we've been laying on the hurt. Oh, you know they want the dirt, we're gonna savor all the flavor, we'll live the misbehavior, knock it out. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. Everything they got means jack shit to me, cause baby we can sing, we got the sound. And everything they need, everything they want It's just nothing to me, nothing you see, it's all they got. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking razors become lasers, and still we cut ourselves just like we got nobody else. Our blood is bleeding dry as we dance into the night. We're gonna tear the city down as we know we're bleeding out. Never mind the wounds, never mind the hurt, black it out. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. So yeah, so I played that one. I played that one a little bit better in the past, but yeah. So that song. So what because one of the things that living here in Texas, particularly where I live, there's so many fucking Teslas and so many fucking Porsches and all these fucking kids, like these rich kids driving, because it's right down from UT. It's right across the street from St. Ed's. There's a sports center right nearby where all these fucking ultra rich yuppie kids driving their fucking parents' $80,000 Tahoes and it's just all fucking posturing and all fucking bullshit and all. And I was like, you know what? The one thing I don't have to worry about is I got fucking I got the good songs. I got great fucking rock and roll, fucking good music. I get to hang out with good friends and make fucking super fun music. I got it all. I got. You can't buy that. You can't replace that. You can't steal that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wanted to write a song that was all, like sort of celebrating, like, yeah, so maybe we drink a little bit too much. Maybe we despair a little bit too much. But we got the sound. We got the music. We got the fucking rock and roll, And so that was the idea behind that one. And I think it turned out pretty fucking awesome. So this is Isabella. I worked in Hollywood for 16 years. Hollywood is a son of a bitch. But there's all sorts of LA that is, and even Hollywood, you can find cool places and good people. That's the thing about LA. I spent most of my adult life in Los Angeles. I've been here in Austin for the past 8 years, but before then, from 19 until I was 44. 19. I think I moved here when I was 44. Anyway, but no, 43, 42 for 3. Anyway, but so all of my important growing up years as an adult happened in Los Angeles. And it was very hard for the first few years because I didn't really have good friends. I didn't have good people, but I eventually did make those friends, and we did wonderful things, and we stayed pretty ferocious. In fact, I'm still close to a lot of them even now. I still talk with them a lot on Facebook. In fact, there's a couple of them here in the audience right now. So it's just it's a tough place. It's a place where a lot of people go to find lives that they think make them feel more important, and there's that whole fake it till you make it kind of ethos that just is fucking annoying as fuck for me, But the thing is, but even so, I didn't have to deal with those people, other than seeing them and being like, oh, look at that poser, because you find the cool spots and you find the cool people and you find the good heads and you find the nice restaurants and you find the little out of the way places where you don't have to deal with all of the people running around posturing and posing. But a lot of my friends and coworkers. Oh yeah, I started working at I was working at Universal Cartoon Studios and Universal Family Entertainment, and then in 1996 when Seagram's bought Universal, I left. I don't want to get into. There was all sorts of fucking horrible politicking happening. I was offered to stay on at Universal, but they changed my upper management. I didn't want to work with those people. So I left, and I got a nice severance package. And so I took my severance package, and I rented a lockout, and I installed some amplifiers and a PA, and I called my old bandmates from the Palm Springs area where I grew up, and I was like, hey guys, I got all this stuff, come on and play. And so they came down. So Los Gatos, and my buddy Rick was already living in Northridge, and our rehearsal space was in North Hollywood, right across from Circus Liquor. And yeah, and it was great, and it was just fucking magical. And so San Francisco's my hometown. Oh, that's great, man. That's great. Like so this is the song. This is the song called "The Sound." It goes like this.
Baby, 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 oh, we're lazy, 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 and we're feeling fucking crazy, 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 crazy. Gonna buy ourselves a gun, gonna stick it in our mouths, we're gonna suck the barrel dry, gonna suck the dead out. We don't need no fucking bullets to knock ourselves around. We got the sound, we got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. Darling, 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 we've been falling, falling, falling. We've been fucking up ourselves like we fucked nobody else. We've been faking, breaking, making. We've been taking, taking, taking. We've been laying on the hurt. Oh, you know they want the dirt. We're gonna savor all the flavor. We'll live the misbehavior, knock it out. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. Everything they got, everything they got, everything they got means jack shit to me, 'cause baby we can say we got the sound. Everything they need, everything they need, everything they want is just nothing to me, nothing you see, it's all they got. We got the motherfucking sound. Razors, razors, razors become lasers, 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 and still we got ourselves just like we cut nobody else. Our blood is bleeding dry as we dance into the night. We're gonna tear the city down as we know we're bleeding out. Never mind the wounds, never mind the hurt, black it out. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound. We got the motherfucking sound.
Yeah, so yeah, and no, so the tambourine. So the great thing about tambourine, although that is not me playing tambourine, but I do actually play the tambourine on a number of these songs. The great thing about tambourine is you just need to get one pass, right? Like you're doing the accents on you're doing like in an 8 count on with the accents on 2 and 4, or you're doing an 8 count with the accents on 1, 2, 3, 4, or you're doing a 16 count. But the thing is but all you need to do is just get it once, and then you just copy and paste and dun dun dun, it's perfect. So yeah, I used to spend a lot of time. I had a handful of tambourines with different color to them. But when Schmed, oh, and so to answer Shuba's question, there's not a single note on this album that I'm not responsible for. I did. My intention was I was going to bring in Trey Warren to do some guitar leads on it, but he's just been super crazy busy with his studio. He's actually building out a whole nother part of his land out there, and it's just been taking up a lot of his time. So yeah, so I didn't play the drums, but like I said, so I actually built the drums there is an app called, well, so it's Tune Tracks. They've got Superior Drummer. They've got Easy. I use the Easy Drummer 3. I actually have Easy Drummer 1 and Easy Drummer 2. And basically they have like little clips of, they have like, oh, this is the style of drumming. These are all the verse sections. These are different myriad verse sections. These are different myriad pre-chorus sections. These are different chorus sections. I sort of eschew kind of using their prescriptions for what, like, and so I will sit down. Often what I'll do is I will sit down and be like, okay, I hear kick drum here, boom, bop, boom, bop, and then I will create that sound in their little, they have a tap to find little thing where you put the, you kick in the click drum, you kick in the kick drum, where you want kick drum, you throw in the snare, you throw in the high, like, and then it finds you matches, and then I go through those, and then what I'll do is I'll go through all of the matches that they found, and I will take little sections out, and I will create my own drums, so. But I don't do that as intensely for my albums. I try to create completely new complete drum tracks. For Hesitation Cuts, the podcast, I will use large swaths. So I'll be like, oh, this is a good verse section. And then what I do is if I come up with a different, like often what I'll do is I will adjust the kick to fit the bass line. So if I've written a cool bass line and I want to make sure that the bass line and the drums are matched up, then I'll move the kick around to make sure that it's like, so there are some little production tweaks that I do for the drums, but yeah, it really is. And it's crazy because they've got different drum kits. They've got different ways that you can play it. They've got different, like, you can adjust the human feel of it. You can make it real loose. You can, like, they do have stuff with a good swing feel, and they can adjust it. Like, it's really, really fun. It's awesome. Okay. So this next song was written in 2014. And the reason why it didn't come out on any record was because I couldn't get the drums and the bass. I didn't own a bass guitar. So when I first originally recorded this, I was just doing bass on the piano, but the bass just didn't sound right. It didn't sound good. I was like, fuck, man. So I eventually borrowed a bass from Trey, which is right here, which is the one I've been using for all of my Hesitation Cut stuff and also my new records. And so I bought a bass from Trey, and I was like, oh, I can go back and redo Off With Their Heads. And I love this song, and I do think and this is one of the singles. Like if you listen on Apple Music or Tidal or Amazon or anywhere other than Spotify, this is the single that you're going to find for this record. If you listen on Spotify, high mic count in your yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, Battle, good to see you, man. How you do? Good to see you, brother. I need to buy a bass. Been using guitar synth with a. Yeah, man, and it's crazy because the thing is that like there's all like I don't have a bass amp. I don't run it through a bass rig. I just use SansAmp. There's a Pro Tools plugin. I just use SansAmp. I don't use any effects. I just turn the drive up. So and it sounds like all of the drums. What I do is I mix. I pull everything down below 50 hertz. Is completely shut off. And then I give a 3 dB like sharp spike on the harmonics. So on 100, on 200, and on 300 for the bass, I give a 3 dB spike for just those harmonics. And then everything else is nice and flat. And it sounds like the bass sound, like it doesn't sound as good as if I had like my buddy Matt Thorne. He's got a fucking amazing like 12 speaker Ampeg bass rig, and he's got like a I don't even know what kind of head it is, but it's like a custom head, and it's like, and when he runs my signal through that, it sounds way better than I can get on my own. But barring that, like it sounds great, like it sounds good, like I can on all of these. I love all the stuff I've come up with on the new. Hey, thank you, Better Life. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's a fun. Right, I'm playing a bunch of the songs right now. And that's the thing is that like, yeah, that's from my perspective, the great thing about bass is it lives in a low enough frequency that it just kind of exists on its own. Like you can do all sorts of stuff. So I can use it to fill up all of the empty spaces in the transitions of songs. So I can use it. I can either do it right in time with the drums, or I can do something that kind of steps outside of the drums. Like, but it's been real fun. Like, and again, I've never been a bass player in earnest until I started working on Hesitation Cuts. So, but I've been playing, what I've recorded now, maybe 80 tracks. And so I feel like I've gotten pretty good. Like my ears have gotten a lot better. I don't think I play like an amazing bass player, but I love all the bass lines I've been coming up with. So, but anyway, so this is a song called Off With Their Heads. And this one goes, wait, let me add some of this guy for bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Beat on the kids, and the kids will be back. The doo-doo launch another counterattack. Enroll the tanks, so reload the guns. Everybody's beating down on everyone. I think that you could be a star. Just do the unthinkable while the cameras are on. Life is cheap, we're all practically dead. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. Off with their heads, they're coming for us. So off with their heads. Off with their heads, they're coming for us. Bum, ba, ba, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Can you feel it? Bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Can you feel it? Bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Are we dreaming? Bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Money is king and Jesus is queen. It's the goddamn weirdest thing that I've ever seen. Blood is cheaper than water for sure, and it spills so black and it feels so warm. I think that you could save us all if only you were 300 feet tall. But no matter, it's already been said, they're coming for us, so off with their head. Off with their head, they're coming for us. So off with their head, off with their heads, they're coming for us. Off with their heads. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, bum. Ba, ba, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Beat on the kids, and the kids will be back. The doo-doo launch another counterattack. Enroll the tanks, so reload the guns. Everybody's beating down on everyone. I think that you could be a star. Just do the unthinkable while the cameras are on. Life is cheap, we're all practically dead. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. Off with their heads, they're coming for us. So off with their heads. Off with their heads, they're coming for us. So off with their heads. Off with their heads, they're coming for us. So off with their heads. So that song. So that song was written in 2014. The full arrangement, except for the drums and the bass, stayed pretty much exactly the same. I added tambourine and a couple other things, but otherwise the shape of the song is 100% what it actually the way it actually was when it was written in 2014. Because when I first recorded it and wrote it, it was awesome. The drums and the bass were not up to snuff, and I was like, fuck, you know. So I just put it aside, and then I forgot about it. And then one day I was going through, and I was like, oh my god, this song is amazing. So let me play this one for you, because this is oh wait, no, shit, where is it? Off of Their Heads. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we go. So this is Off of Their Heads, and this one sounds exactly. I love the way this one turned out.
On the kids, and the kids will be back. They're doomed to launch another counterattack. Enroll the tanks, so reload the guns. Everybody's beating down on everyone. I think you could be a star. Just do the unthinkable when the cameras are on. Life is cheap, we're all practically dead. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us. Where the feeling, can you feel it? Are we dreaming? Money is king and Jesus is queen. It's the goddamn weirdest thing that I've ever seen. Blood is cheaper than water for sure, and it spills so black and it feels so warm. I think you could save us all if only you were 300 feet tall. But no matter, it's already been said. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Chop, 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 choppy, chop, chop. Chop, chop, choppy, 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 chop, chop, chop. Beat on the kids, and the kids will be back. They're doomed to launch another counterattack. Enroll the tanks, so reload the guns. Everybody's beating down on everyone. I think you could be a star. Just do the unthinkable while the cameras are on. Life is cheap, we're all practically dead. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads. They're coming for us, so off with their heads.
So yeah, so that just that you know that song, I didn't change any of the lyrics. It was perfect, and it's so funny because the thing is like, so that song, when I wrote it back in the day, it was very much, hey, thank you Bobcat, thank you Shubru. It was very much, you know, it's kind of like, it also shares the same kind of like antecedents as Wolves. You know, it's about that idea that you know, it's about that idea that musicians are constantly being beleaguered by an industry that is trying to take advantage of them. Like your closest allies are also trying to fucking rip you off. Like, what? You know, the fake horns and piano make me think of Who's Caught a Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I that is one of my favorite records of all time, Bob Kelly. So that's I love. Yeah, I mean all Who's Next, I absolutely adore. Yeah, but so that's awesome. That's great, and that is so and that's certainly, so it's really funny that actual all the bass playing, I throughout this entire record, in fact throughout everything I've been doing since I started playing bass on the Hesitation Cuts podcast episode 1, I've been trying to approximate either John Entwistle or James Jamerson. So, and again, I don't listen to them and go, oh, let me steal this. I just think about the songs that I love, that I know that they've played, and I try to capture a similar vibe. So I'm not good at ripping people off. I don't go and go, oh, this is what they're doing, but I just try to capture something that feels to my heart what I remember of those songs, you know, and so. So yeah, so that one was very much had I did a lot of stuff that were like these little like and oh yes, oh yeah, well, yeah, and that's, you know, and it, but it's always been that way, right? I think that's in fact it's really funny. I won't talk about this too much right now, but I will talk about this quite a bit tomorrow because it's gonna be my last time here on Twitch. I will be doing stuff once a month on Twitch, but it's not gonna be this kind of show. It's going to be more of it's going to be sort of a truncated version of what I'm planning on doing without the commiseration like this. But I'm going to give you kind of look at like the way the rock show portion of my new streaming service is going to operate. But I do want to tell you about like this idea. So I've been thinking about this streaming service idea. And what I want to do is I want to put it together. I want to get it. I think I've got a good handle on the needs of people that do original music, that want to put on a good show, that want to put on a fun show, that want to put on a community building show online that also feels like a rock show, also looks cool, and also feels like it's a like. So I am gonna be getting a couple of different cameras, and I'll be using a foot pedal to switch the camera angles, just so we've got some variety. I'm gonna be getting you know, I'm going to be getting some fog machines. I'm going to be getting some lights, and I'm going to be installing green screens all around the back here, so that I can put I can make my stage whatever I want it to be. And I'm going to mostly do things that like you wouldn't expect to ever play as a show. Like, so it's going to be the Super Mario Brothers loading screen, and it's going to be Middle Earth. It's going to be like it's going to be like the battle, you know, the battle the last battle in Return of the King on Middle Earth. You know, it'll be that kind of stuff. It'll be these like silly and fun, but just rollicking kind of like things I can rock to, and you know, and I think that what I'll do is I will come up with scenes. I think I'll time the scenes to match the songs I'm playing, you know, so that way I can just sequence, I can just put together, I'll be like, oh, this song is for this thing. Might check out Ryan Stastic of Humphrey McGee, Doom Flamingo, and Death Kings. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I certainly I don't have much time right now, Schubert. Could you Yeah, Battle of Hoth. Yes, that's perfect. See, and it's really funny. Like I do think that's what I will do is I'll be like, oh, I'm going to be doing 8 shows where we're gonna be touring Star Wars, and I'll do 8 shows where I tour Middle Earth, and I'll do 8 shows where I tour Westeros, the Game of Thrones place, right? I will do early Nintendo shows, or we'll be doing the opening sequences of James Bond movies, and so that will be my background stuff as I'm playing my show, And so it should be fun, and my hope is to get to the point where I'm able to sequence it so that I've got my set, and I'm gonna change up. I'll change up the set I'll come up with 3 or 4 different sets, and I'll just do them in sequence. I'll do one set one day, and the next day I'll do a different one, and the next day I'll do a different one, the next day I'll do a different one, and then I'll start back on the first one. So that way, depending on when people show up, they'll get a unique show. So. Yeah, and that's so BioCow. We did talk about that kind of thing, and that might be possible. I was thinking it'd be fun. I could do like a living room tour where I don't actually go to the living rooms, and I could actually just I could put together a living room show, like a living room tour where I played like maybe 20 dates where I played just a bunch of my hardcore fans and friends. Living room. So all of this stuff is possible. But again, what I'm thinking, so this is the way I see this whole thing working out, right? So I will come up with how the show looks. I will start vetting it in front of a small group of friends to kind of get a sense of like what works, what doesn't, does it feel good? Once I've got all that in place, and once they're like, yeah, this is a fucking amazing show, then I will start putting together these little micro tours. It'll be like eight dates. It'll be 20 dates, and depending on what the themes are, and depending on how, and I will start selling tickets, and I'll start, and what you can do is you can buy one ticket, you can buy an individual ticket, or you can buy a batch of tickets, I'll be doing these tours, I'll be doing the Star Wars tour. I'll do the Star Wars tour in the US, and I'll do the Star Wars tour in Australia, and I'll do the Star Wars tour in Asia. So that way I can make it accessible to people that live in different parts of the country, and they can still get the same experience. One of the things you'll be getting at the end of each show is you'll be getting a recording of that show. At the end of the tour, you'll be receiving a best of compilation of all of the shows, the best performances of all it. And so you'll be getting that, and you'll be like, here you go. So you'll get your show, so you'll get to perform, you'll get to hang out the show, you'll receive the show, and you'll also get an edited best of at the end of it, right? So I think that's really cool. I think that's something that no one else is doing, right? So on top of that. Once this is working, and once I understand how the money works, and once I understand that it does have legs, and it does seem like people are excited about it, then I'm going to start cherry picking bands that I love, people that I know are great performers, that I also know that the live streaming thing, and also understand how this works, and I'll work with them, and I'll start sharing assets with them so that they can start doing the exact same thing. And I'm going to do that until I've got about 10 or 15 of us. And so that way we can put together, we can build a website where we can be like, hey, here's the schedule. You can catch these bands at any given time. And then we'll start offering a universal passes. So you can so the idea is it'll probably cost like $5 to go see one show. And for that $5, you'll get your ticket, plus you'll also get a ticket to give to a friend. And the reason why I want to do that is I want the entire audience, and I want the entire community to self-curate. It's only going to start off by invitation only. So it's only going to be, I'm going to reach out to people and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing. Do you want to be involved? Here are the dates I've got going on. These are the number of tickets that are available for each date. What do you want to do? Might be going to Canada, so you could email me to do a live stream, because the times will be, oh yeah, no, of course, Battle. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Just let me know, man. Let me know. Just reach out to me via email. So that's the idea. That's the idea. And then what I would do is, and then once we've got it up and running, and once we, and so again, in 3 or 4 or 5 years, but the idea is I just want to curate everything, and I want to make sure that it's everything's above board. Everybody's on the same perspective. I'm not gonna at some point in time, if this goes well, and if it thrives, and if it's super fun, and if people are like, this is an amazing community, and this is, at some point in time, we might be able to take the assets and take this whole concept, and we might be able to then make it available to the general public, the people that want to do what we want to we do, and want to be able to, but for me the idea would be that there would be no participation. I would not make any money off of anybody else's stuff other than my own, right? And so I would, and then what I was thinking is, if there are costs, as the platform grows, as we require more bandwidth, as that kind of stuff happens, and as we have more expenses, then what I will do is we will put together little like a little festival just to raise funds to pay for our bills. So it'd be like, hey, we need to raise $10,000 to cover all the costs for whatever this thing's called for the next 3 months. So we're gonna do a big festival, and it's gonna be and so it'll be that kind of thing. So the idea is that there will be no one will ever participate on the musicians' effort except for the musicians themselves. And so I think that's gonna be the way it's gonna work. And yeah, I think it should be really, really fun. So I'm running out of time. I've only got 30 minutes, and what we'll do is I'll do the next 2 songs, and then we'll just pick this up tomorrow because I can't I don't want to step on Great Night. They're coming up at 6 p.m. And so do we have a platform yet? Are you looking for something like? No, yeah, I'm not. I'm creating my own platform, Shubrew. To start, I'm gonna probably use Sharkstream.io to create something like rudimentary, and then I will. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I might figure out the costs of doing this, either using like a Sharkstream or something, using a modular based streaming service that kind of like has plug and play stuff, and maybe I start there, or maybe I build it out myself and I hire people to do that. So what I'm thinking is, what I'll do is I'll come up with two different modalities of which I do it, and then I was thinking I'd launch a Kickstarter, and I'd be like, hey, this is what I like. I do think that there needs to be a pro musician live streaming service that is very much about not making billions of dollars for the company, and not making but making money for the musicians, and making it easy for the musicians to put on the kinds of shows that they want to put on, and also showing them that there are all sorts of fun ways to take advantage of the fact that this is happening on the internet. It doesn't just have to be a static stage, And so what I want to do is I want to be the guinea pig. I want to test this stuff out. I want to try it out. I want to figure it out. And then once it's working, and once I see it's working, and once I've found this is the best practices, and this is the thing that and again, and the great thing is that there are probably a number of people that have as much experience as I do doing online shows, but there's no one that has more experience. There's no one that's done more. No one that's done more shows. No, so I think that I'm in a unique position to like be able to really troubleshoot all of this. So anyway, all right. So here. So this next song, I was writing. I wanted to write a Devo style song, and in fact, I actually wrote this. So I was thinking about Devo, and I was thinking about like the angularity of their riffs, and I was in the shower, and I did this dun 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 dun, and I was like. So I hopped on the guitar, I climbed into the shower, and I ran to the guitar, and I was like, dun 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 dun. So dun. So yeah, so that's what I came up with. So that was, again, it's not Devo, but it's me approximating Devo. But it turned out to be a really, really fun song. It's called Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire, and it goes like this. We're gonna be alright, everything's on fire. The ship is going down and the flames are climbing higher, but we'll be alright. What else can we do? The ship is going down, but baby, you look beautiful. I love the way the things like your face. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I love just how the fire lights you now. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. We're gonna be alright. There's chaos in the streets. The buildings, they are burning and we're running from the heat, but we'll be alright. There's nothing left to do. Burn, baby, burn, and love you are beautiful. Embrace the fire, burning desire. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I just can't wait. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. gentlemen, we are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. We're gonna be alright, there's chaos, we're gonna be alright. The world's gone insane, we're gonna steal a car and then we're gonna make a getaway. We'll be alright, what else can we do? Everything's on fire, but I love you, are beautiful. I love the way the flames light your face. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I love just how the fire lights you now. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. So that and that song was it was originally like, so the ladies and gentlemen section did not exist. I called the song "Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire," but I just had the ooh. I only had that section. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, you know what? I could totally do the "Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire" as like a B-52s, kind of like, you know, like so. And so I was like, oh yeah, I will throw that in. I will just do a direct B-52s ripoff. And so, and it added a lot of like fun. Hey, like, it just added a little bit of extra magic. But yeah, so that song. So again, so it was originally written. I was trying to write a COVID song, right? So I wanted to write a song about it was early pandemic, and you know, and everything had been shut down, and of course at the same time the entire fucking world is going fucking ape shit because people are like, you cannot, you know, I don't, vaccines and masks and blah blah blah, and then people are like, vaccines and masks and blah blah blah, and just everybody's I was like, oh, this whole fucking world just fucking going straight up in flames, and so that was and I was like, oh, I'll turn it into a love song, you know, and so that's it. But again, this one is, you know, it is a fun song, but it doesn't have a lot of, like, there's not a lot of moving parts. It's effectively the riff, and then there's the verse, and then there's a chorus section, and then that's it, you know? So coming up with ways to keep it interesting from beginning to end was a bit of a challenge, but this is what I came up with. So this is Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire, the album version from my album Juggernaut. It's going on sale tonight at midnight. Tonight at midnight, all across the planet Earth, on Bandcamp. You can find it there. It is it's just super, super fun. Hey Sam, good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? So this is it. So this is Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire. This is the album version from my brand new record called Juggernaut. It's only available on Bandcamp. There are two singles. One is Off of Their Heads, which I played earlier. Off of Their Heads is available on Apple Music and Tidal and all the other streaming services. And then Wild Animals, the very first song I played today, that's available on Spotify. So yeah, but this is Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are on Fire. Here you go. Wait, no, that's not right. Come here, what are you doing?
We're gonna be alright, everything's on fire. The ship is going down and the flames climbing higher, but we'll be alright. What else can we do? The ship is going down, but baby, you look beautiful. I love the way the flames light your face. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I love just how the fire lights you now. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. There's chaos in the streets, the buildings they are burning and we're running from the heat, but we'll be alright. There's nothing left to do. Burn, baby, burn, and love you are beautiful. Embrace the fire, desire. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I just can't wait. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. We're gonna be alright. The world's gone insane. We're gonna steal a car and then we're gonna make a getaway. We'll be alright. What else can we do? Everything's on fire, but love you are beautiful. I love the way the flames light your face. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. I love just how the fire lights you now. Oh, 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 darling, you're so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on fire.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we're on fire. You know, so it just ended up being a really fun song. I actually changed the drums for that one. One of the great things about the Easy Drummer thing is they've got like 30 different drum kits you can use. I actually have a couple different packs of different drum kits, but so I used like an 80s disco glam pop set. Like it's just is weird. It's got like this really snappy, like it's a really, really fun sounding drum kit. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect. That ambulance alarm sound in the back. Yeah, that's It's just actually just a keyboard. I think I'm just using a low register Wurlitzer for that, Zach. Not Wurlitzer, low register Farfisa. That's awesome, Shubru. But yeah, it's just fun. It's just super, super cool. It was a fun song to work on. And okay, so I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more song. We've got 15 minutes left. And then I'll come back and I'll do the remainder tomorrow, and we can talk about it. And then I'll cobble these two together and turn it into one big video that I can give out to my Patreon folks. But so this is a song called "Kick It." This song was written. In fact, here. Wait, what? Oh, here. So this song was written. I wanted to write like a monkey style song, you know, like the. Let me just tune up real quick, but you know, there's this kind of like poppy like mid 60s sounding. Kind of like guitar, like jangly guitar, kind of bouncing ding 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 ding. And I wanted to write. So I've got another song called "Spirits in the Bottle" that had that same vibe. And I'm like, man, I really love that vibe, and I don't have any other song that has it. Let me try to write one. And so because it sounded so so beachy, I was like, oh, I will make it a song about having a party, like just having a great time. Like, but I was like, but I will intimate, I'll have all sorts of intimations that maybe the party is not as PC as people like to think. So if you pay attention to the lyrics, you will realize that it could be people using hardcore drugs and getting into fights and shooting off guns, or it could be people just having a great time and there's double entendre, you know. So here you go. So this is So you know, I'm not going to play this one. This one sounds good on the electric if it's accompanied by other instruments, but it doesn't sound that great if it's just the electric. So I'm gonna. This is one that I'm gonna switch to the acoustic. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I didn't think of this. But yeah, it just doesn't. If it's not accompanied by a bass and by drums, it loses a little bit. In fact, I even think that I have some of the acoustic mixed in just to add a little bit more articulation. It's just what happens when you use electrics. The articulation gets a little wonky. Like it's not as pronounced just because there's a lot of incidental. The strings get the strings have a little bit of leftover incidental jangly stuff that makes it sound a little less finely articulated than I prefer. So, but here, so this is here we go. Wait, wait. Oh shit. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Crap. Hey Sammy, how you doing? Okay, so let me see. So what's up, baby? I've got both dogs here. The Moppet is at my feet. The Moppet's at my feet, and Sue's behind the piano. Okay. There we go. There we go. And all right, there we go. So the video of Kick It with yeah, that actually doesn't sound like it would be too. I mean, we actually did for our song How Now, we did a very Monkees style. You can find it on YouTube. If you search Get Set Go How Now video on YouTube, you will find, and we did it. It's very much like us doing a Monkees homage for that video. We're gonna kick it like it's never been kicked before. We're gonna hit it, then we're gonna hit it 10 times more. We're gonna take the night. We're gonna take the day. We're gonna light it up and then float away. We're gonna shoot it up, then we'll drink it down. We're gonna punch it hard right in the mouth. We're gonna take the sky. We're gonna steal the stars. We're gonna roll on by in our muscle cars. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. We're gonna do it like it's never been done before. We're gonna pound it, then we're gonna pound it some more. We're gonna light the fire. We're gonna burn it out. So come on, baby, let's you and me get down. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. You gotta take one down, then you pass it around. You gotta take two down, then you pass them around. You gotta take three down, then you pass them around. You gotta take four down, you gotta take four down. All right, tonight, woohoo, get wild. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Everything you don't wanna be So the album version of this song. So this song. So obviously, I wrote this. I wrote this thinking I wanted to write it like to sound like a Monkees tune, you know, like. But then, as I started working on it, I was like, oh, there's all sorts of empty space. I should fill it up with guitar hooks. And so I asked. So when I perform this live, often on Tuesdays, my buddy Trey Warren, who often joins me and plays lead guitar, he would do all sorts of cool licks and stuff like that. So my intention was originally to get him on this record to play some leads on 3 or 4 tracks, but he was just too busy. He's been working on his new studio. So I ended up playing everything, and I still think it turned out fucking super super fun. But so this is the album version of Kick It, and again you'll hear a few homages to different musical perspectives. But here we go. It goes like this. Wait, no, it goes like this.
We're gonna kick it like it's never been kicked before. We're gonna hit it, then we're gonna hit it 10 times more. We're gonna take the night. We're gonna take the day. We're gonna light it up and then throw it away. We're gonna shoot it up, then we'll drink it down. We're gonna punch it hard right in the mouth. We're gonna take the sky. We're gonna steal the stars. We're gonna roll on by in our muscle cars. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. We're gonna do it like it's never been done before. We're gonna pound it, then we're gonna pound it some more. We're gonna light the fire. We're gonna burn it out. So come on, baby, let's you and me get down. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. You gotta take one down, then you pass it around. You gotta take 2 down, then you pass them around. You gotta take 3 down, and you pass them around. You gotta take 4 down, you gotta take more down. All right. Tonight. Woo! Get wild. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Diddly-dip-a-doodle-bada-beedle-doodle-bada-doodle. Diddly-dap-a-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Diddly-dip-a-doodle-bada-beedle-doodle-bada-doodle. Diddly-dap-a-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. Diddly-dap-a-dooba-doodle-doo-doo-ba-doo. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all. At all. Everything you don't wanna be is everything you don't gotta be at all.
All right, awesome. So that's half of the record. So we'll get to the other half tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. So anyway, I thought we did. I thought it still turned out. I thought it still turned out pretty cool. You know, the leads took me a little bit longer than it would take because I doubled all of them. So I had to like practice. I'd write a lead and then I'd have to practice it and practice it and practice it so I could get two identical versions so I could send them left and right channels. So it took me pretty much a full day to get all those guitar leads in on the track, but it was still a lot of fun to do, and it's nice to know that that is something I can pull off. If you would ask me 15 years ago, hey, Mike, could you play leads all over a record? I'd be like, no fucking way. So, but, and yeah, hey, Radio Canaglia, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I'm so sorry. Because we have to go. I've got some buddies of mine that are live streaming they're a show called Great Night, and I try not to step on their toes. They start at 6 p.m. My time, Central, CST, Central Time. And so I'm just wrapping up. But I've got a brand new record. It's showing up. It's on Bandcamp. Get Set Go's Juggernaut. It's going to be showing up tomorrow at midnight. Or not tomorrow, but it'll show up tonight at midnight. Like once it becomes tomorrow. Once today becomes tomorrow, then the album is available. And it's fucking awesome. And I just played a bunch of the songs from it. I played them. This is the way they were written. This is how they sound on one guitar. And then I played the actual how it turned out on the album. I only got through half the record. We did 6 songs, and there's 5 more songs. But yeah, I'll continue with them tomorrow. But I'm so sorry. It's so great to see you guys though. And yeah, I'll send her in just a second. But anyway, so this is gonna be the credits. Thank you everybody. I love you all. And yeah, man. Hopefully we'll see you all very, very soon. This is the closing credits. Adios.